agent attraction. This is all about agent attraction and building your revenue share.
Is
I,
anybody
I would
doing?
just say for agent attraction, having some small gatherings while in Miami, bringing
Yeah.
small people together, small groups together, rather not small people, small groups together to have a discussion, really large people. And it's all agent attraction. We've got guests coming from all over the world, really, and we're using a lot of visitor passes to do so. So using the convention as a agent attraction, very much so.
Yeah,
Very
Tom,
good.
I would say that my organization has Eric and Tom in it, and I'm going to guess we probably have 20 Explorer passes being used.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I just had something creative happen. Last night I was sitting on my couch, just thinking about building the business, doing revenue share, thinking about this call. So if you're on this call, and you are coming to EXPCon, or you want to come to EXP convention happening at the end of this month, October 20, 21, and 22 in Miami. We highly encourage you to do so. If you're an agent and you're already coming, you got your ticket, and you don't have an Explorer pass, excuse me, and you're not using your Explorer pass, there's plenty of us here who could use it. And what is an Explorer pass? It is give you when you bought your ticket, you have the ability to bring a licensed real estate guest, not currently with EXP, in for basically complimentary because you paid for it. Okay. So, does anyone have an Explorer pass that they are not using that they would like to share?
Tom, I've got two that are making noises like they might back away. They had committed to coming, but now they might not be. Is it possible for me to switch those to someone you can name?
I would absolutely appreciate it. I mean, I've got two looking to come, two looking to come. I've got two extra guests coming that I'm trying to
I'll
find.
know in the next 48 hours.
I appreciate it. The other alternative is go ahead, Michael. You had your hand raised.
I do not have a guest coming, so I think I have an extra pass.
Thank you so much. All right. So Mike, I'll definitely lean on you for that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Michael. Let me know, please. I can absolutely use it. Okay.
Sure, sure.
I am bringing a guest. That guest is going to be on my level 3, who could be, who could help us open up China. How about that?
Wow.
Okay. He has committed. He bought his plane ticket for $1,800. I'm covering him on his hotel. I'm paying for his full hotel cost, and I'm paying for his registration through my Explorer pass. But he's paying for his airline tickets. I had to get him to commit to something, so there's some skin in the game. All right. And I told him that if he leaves here and he doesn't get fired up and he says, no, EXP is not for me, I'll reimburse him his $1,800 plane ticket. But there's no way in heck he's coming all the way from China, going through to get his visa, just to come here, and he has to show up at every event, that he's not going to say, okay, let me figure this out. How do I break away from the chains, the handcuffs that I have with my current company in China to come over here? So that's the type of investment I am making into people and into our business. So think big, boys and girls. Think really big, because there's, the world is your oyster. The world is literally your oyster. Okay. All right.
Oh, can I make an announcement?
Yes, go ahead.
Let's celebrate my favorite Crumpton. Congratulations, Tom, Mr. Icon.
All right.
Barely
Speaking
made
of
it.
which,
I made it.
why don't we go right into it? Tom Crumpton is our VIP guest today. Eric, why don't you give him the proper introduction, please? He's going to speak to us about why he joined EXP, what his background was, what he recently accomplished, which you just dropped there. But then he's going to share with us the importance of not who you know, but who knows you, which is a line that Keith Andrew teaches everybody. Go ahead, Eric. Go for it. And then after Tom speaks, Tom, you've got about 10, 15 minutes. Then we'll get into some training.
Yeah, that's a great segue because it's all about relationships, and agents you've worked with in the past make for great agent attraction. I met Tom about 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago. He was representing a seller. I was representing a buyer. We went through a painful year and a half plus contract because there was three parties involved. One was a county commerce department, so it made for the transaction to be difficult. And we both stayed on course. We both represented who we represented and had to talk through the issues. But long story short, I did my first land transaction in Georgia with Tom Crumpton. Fast forward, meet Keith, get my CCIM. Tom happens to be CCIM, and I started inviting him to come to our EXP Explained, a network event where you could just meet people and talk to people. He invited me to some of his functions, and it was relational. I never at one time sat down with Tom and said, "Hey, Tom, let me show you this." I never did that. He came, we shared, we exchanged, and one day after doing EXP Explain in his voice that only Tom has, he's, "Hey, Clark, when are you going to sit down and show this to me?" I said, "Well, I figured you'd ask when you were ready." He goes, "Well, I'm asking." So I did. And it's been a great thing. Tom's very much a gentleman. He's integrity based. He's a servant leader. He does things exceptional. He's been in commercial real estate for quite a while and business brokerage for quite a while. He's had a great year. And I got to tell you, after he signed up with EXP, he met Keith and I in Nashville for an event. And he came afterwards. We're all leaving, going our separate ways. Tom thanked us for inviting him and how much he appreciated it, how it was the best event he'd ever been to in commercial real estate. And then, as only Tom can do with his colorful language, he corrected us for not being more aggressive and encouraging him sooner to come on board. I sent the email unedited version to the corporate people of EXP, said, "We need to use this to tell this story." It was great. And Crumpton's like, "Clark, why'd you do all these words that I had in there?" But anyway, that's Tom. Love him. Boom, the floor's yours. Let's hear what you have to say.
I'm wondering who he's talking about.
Yeah, there are a lot of Toms,
Yeah. And some of them probably have more of those integrity and base things than I do. So we'll see. I'm happy to be here. It's been a great year, and it's really just been out of year. I joined because I saw two things. One, 60,000 leads for business brokerage, and I sell businesses, right? Yes, I'm a CCIM on commercial, but 60,000 potential leads and a potential for a pension. How many real estate programs anywhere have it as an opportunity? None. So it's been a good year. It's been a great year. I've learned a lot. I held back for a while. I'll be honest, man. I held that one back. I started with this one because that license was inactive in Florida. I started with business acquisitions. I was also selling it in Georgia. After I kind of waited for the other shoe to drop. The other shoe didn't drop, so I brought over commercial experts and have closed a bunch of stuff on both sides. Have more stuff coming, and this will be a better year because now I've got leads and deals going with EXP people. One of the bonuses has been mentees. I've got some mentees that I can teach all crap I've learned over the last 40 years. And really, my first license was 79. I know I don't look that old, but yeah, I am. So it's funny how often these guys will call or text me with a question, and I know it. I know that answer. I've lived it. So it doesn't take an extra lot to be the mentor, but I can already see it working and deals going. So that's an extra benefit. I haven't started doing agent attraction yet. We just kind of kicked it off, my operations manager and I. I hate to use the different Eric used the right word. I'm going whale hunting. So, for example, this year I got my CBI. I really got it so that all the people in the country will look at whoever business broker they can send stuff to, and that gives me credibility there. I already had it, but so I earned it. To get that, you have to have 2 recommendations from current IBBA members. There's a company out there called
Dom, just for the benefit of most agents on here, we don't understand what CBI stands for, and we don't understand what IBA stands for. Just let us know that.
IBBA is the International Business Brokers Association. It's the Association for Business Brokers. And yeah, that's kind of what the common knowledge is.
Yep.
They know what CCIM is sometimes,
Yep.
right? But sometimes they don't. But the CBI is kind of the equivalent. You got to sell a whole bunch of stuff. You got to pass a whole bunch of tests. You got to do a whole bunch of other stuff. And then you get that designation. It says that you're qualified just like a CCIM, but this is for selling businesses.
Yep.
Well, I've been around long enough that it came time to get those recommendations, right? I needed 2 letters. You guys might have heard of Trans World Business Brokers.
Yep.
We sell restaurants. Those are the 2 guys that had write me the letters.
Okay. Very
I'm
credible
already working
sources.
with both of them to try and get some of their stuff brought over here because they're about my age. We all been around a while. We all started about 20 minutes from each other in South Florida.
Yep.
Many years ago. So I'm going whale hunting. I've got a couple people here. I'm going to go after and bring in parts of teams and then bring in a parts of teams and the rest of the team.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. Anything else you want to add? Because I want to unpack some of the things that Eric and Keith and you just shared about your experience.
Okay. Nothing else. I'm happy to be here. Every time I turn around, I expected for a while that other shoe to drop, right? Oh yeah,
There you
that's
go.
right. No, it doesn't. It's just it keeps getting better, and I'm more and more impressed with every time I see a picture of a bunch of agents or there's a group of people, the high percentage of CCIMs in that group.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you, Tom, for that. I'm going to ask you guys the questions and Keith, this directly to you and Eric and everyone else on the call as well. So here's the deal, right? If you heard, so how we first met Tom was Eric and Keith consistently do in real life events. It was born out of COVID back in 2020 when the world shut down and then finally the world opened up again. Our organization was right there in real life doing events. Okay. And I think one of the things that stood out for me from hearing Tom Crumpton talk is we threw excellent events, right? Educational events where we brought together leaders. The culture was vibrant. When you walk into the room, you can feel the energy. You can sense everyone wanting others to win. You didn't feel like you were walking into a room where there was scarcity mentality. You walked into the rooms where we live in a life of abundance. Wouldn't you guys all agree for those who've been to EXP events, live events, right? And then finally, Tom, after a full day of an event, he finally said to Eric Clark, when are you going to sit down and show me this program? How cool is that, right?
He didn't say it like that.
He didn't say it like that. How did he say it, Eric?
It was colorful.
I'm more colorful.
All right. When are you going to effing show me the program? I got you. Something like that. All right. But what does that tell the rest of us, guys? That tells the rest of us that we didn't puke on him, did we? Think about that for a second, right? We deliver first with value. We deliver first with making them feel like they're part of the family, regardless of whether they are carrying the EXP flag or not. Does that make sense? So if you're taking people to EXP convention, first of all, you got to be by them. All right. Spend time with them. Don't let them loose. There's a lot of sharks out there. I can tell you a disclaimer. A lot of sharks floating around trying to insert themselves as the sponsor and insert themselves as a co-sponsor, even try to take over as primary. So I would caution you, if you're bringing a guest, there's sharks out there. I hate to say it, but that's the culture by which we live in because revenue share is so competitive and extremely rich in compensation. Okay. But the point is we made him feel like he's more at home. And then the second comment that Tom said, if you guys caught it, is he was waiting for the shoe to drop. He was waiting to see, okay, is it really that good? Right? I'm dating this girl, but man, what if I take her home and, her feet stink? I don't know.
That would sound like Tom.
Dropped. Huh?
That would sound like Tom.
That will sound like Tom. All right, but the other shoe never dropped. And I think that's really important. Go ahead, Daniel Perret. You had your hands raised.
Yeah, so on the last topic you just made, Is there a timeline during which a new agent can be co-sponsored?
I,
Or is there a timeline after
I,
which a
I,
co-sponsor can't be
who
added?
knows the exact number of days where you can insert a co-sponsor after you enroll? Go ahead, Keith.
5 business days.
5 days.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. So I forget if EXP automatically sends out an email saying you can pick a sponsor. I was totally against that. I'm still totally against that. EXP, if you're listening, because this is being recorded, leadership, please. I don't like it. I freaking hate it because we're just confusing the agents, or they're already confused enough already. And then all of a sudden we get an email saying, hey, you might have missed the step. You should pick a co-sponsor. If it wasn't necessary, it shouldn't be mentioned anyhow. That's my opinion.
I second that objection, and I'm not sure if I'm a fan of somebody having a co-sponsor in their same backyard. I think the co-sponsoring is intended for people when you've got a sponsor that's across the country to provide support, not for poaching purposes.
Yeah, definitely not for poaching purposes. I'm not sure if I would agree from a backyard. I co-sponsor agents in my backyard right here in Massachusetts because let's say I don't want to be doing open houses every weekend anymore. I don't want to be showing 30 houses and telling 29 people that's a bathroom. They can't figure that out by themselves. And so if that agent needs the help, I'd rather just bring in a co-sponsor, Daniel. I can still get the full qualifying. Does that make sense? Or let's
Okay.
say I don't do commercial and I got somebody in, and I'm resi. I'm not saying I can do commercial, but my point is I am not resi. I'm whatever. I'm not commercial luxury, and it might make sense. So that's all. Just be careful with that. Not for poaching purposes. You're absolutely right. Okay. All right. By the way, if you have a rock star that has accomplished things with EXP, this is a hint for you, Eric, Keith, and Tom Crumpton. Make sure you get that story. I think Eric mentioned it, but make sure that you press hard to get Tom featured on EXP Life. You know what that is?
No.
Okay. Alan Nanny, what is EXP Life, please? So Eric can get going with it. Unmute yourself, please, Alan.
All right, it's an online magazine that goes out for the world to see, not just internal, but external as well. They put our team in it when we moved over 2.5 years ago. And it's a way to communicate to people, big, small, and in between, that this is the right place to be.
All right. And the way Alan Nanny's team got into it is because, Debbie Lafayette, their sponsors, basically notified EXP Life that this is a story worth hearing, worth interviewing for, and then they decide who gets featured. Like I think featured 3 or so agents or teams every month on our online magazine. So there is competition, but I'm sure Tom Crumpton's story is something that should be told.
They will be there at EXP Con Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be there. Yeah.
Okay. I want to move next into Fast Attract. I believe Keith, Alan Nanny, Daniel Perrette, and whoever else has been attending Fast Attract. Can you please share with us what you are getting out of that program and maybe,
Hey,
encourage
Tom.
others to join? So Keith, why don't you go first, then Alan Nanny, and then Daniel Perrette.
Tom,
Go ahead.
I've attended it. Luis is in the middle of it right now.
All right, Luis, if you wouldn't mind sharing, that would be great. Alan, why don't you go first? I think Daniel Perrette is attending, and then Luis as well. Go ahead, Alan.
This is week 5 of 6. It is structured the same way that Fast Cap is. They have consulted with about 3 or 4 dozen top attractors. I didn't see Tom's name on the list, which was their error, but they talked to a bunch of other people, Brent Gove and Elizabeth Riley and that crowd. And then they've gotten a bunch of staff corporate staff to be involved with not just designing the program, but facilitating the program. And it worked like Fast Cap. In other words, there's a Zoom call Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 1 hour, homework in between. They give us daily productive activities that we track on CSU, just like the producing agents do. It has made a difference in my business. I've got interviews that I wasn't able to get before. I've got 2 new people that have signed on since we started. They have given you, and here's the best part, they have given you a roadmap and a plan. Tom talks to us every week or every other week about who we should be talking to, how should we be talking to them, and Tom has made himself eminently available for 3-way calls and all that sort of stuff. But there's stuff that has to be done in front of that. You've got to start connecting with people. You got to start building relationships with people. You got to start making people know who you are and why you are in a position to bring value to them. And that's what this class is doing. It's very well designed. I've given them some constructive feedback. I think some of the stuff that we're covering this week, they should have done maybe week 2, but that's tweaking. I mean, this is only the second time they've offered it. So it's well worth the time. I will probably go through it again. Not the next one, but again after that.
Thank you, Alan. And I share the screen. I think you guys saw it. I put the link into the chat as well. Go ahead and click on that. We're already week 5 out of 6, which means we're enrolling folks for the next class right now. Okay. All right. Who else wants to share? Fast Attract if you've gone through it. Go
I'll
ahead,
go,
Luis.
Tom.
Luis?
Yeah, definitely for me. I mean, this is the first time I'm getting into an structured program for agent attraction, so everything is great, right? But following Alan's words, it is something that to me have been very well structured, especially for somebody like me that I have never seen this and I haven't explained the process or the program. But when you have somebody telling you step by step how you can do it, eh, one of the things that I like it the most is during the day, during that hour, they force you to make contact. It's a 10-15 minutes break. They said, okay, this is your time for you to make phone calls. So even you say that you don't have time for the day, okay, now you were able to spare this hour. Okay, now you know what? Within this hour, we're gonna give you 15 minutes for you to make some phone calls. And I think that was a great idea. I don't have anything else to compare with, but it's been working. I mean, I
Okay.
have not enrolled anybody, but I have contact people that I'm working on it, and working with them. So very satisfied what I'm doing, and I think it will have a great outcome.
So
they made
Lewis and
you a
Alan, you guys, we'll get to you, Michael. Lewis and Alan, you guys have been participating. Lewis, you said it has been working. Alan's brought on 2. You haven't brought anyone yet, but you said it's been working. What has been working? Can we get a little deeper on that, please, Lewis? Because you didn't
Um,
know anything about attraction before, right?
Yes, the way that I said it has been working, it is really they have been explained us step by step how you can approach people without just, let's say, forcing them or make them to believe I'm not talking to you just because I think that we are better than you. It is more about, hey, this is what we have, and the other person, okay, I have this, okay, then you can establish that relation conversation without how can I say that without diminish the other person, without diminish the other company. Like, hey, you're not good, you will be better with us. No, hey, this is how satisfied I am with this company EXP. This is what we can offer. Do you have that or no? And some of them are like, I'm not looking for that. Okay, that's perfectly fine. If that's not what you need at the moment, just remember that you can do this. And it's been like a 1 or 2 of them said, hey, you're a really good realtor and look at the money you're making today. Now just compare this with how much money will you be making if you are with the EXP. And so I understand that you don't like or you don't want to switch the brokers, but if you are in this to making money, just think about it, how much money you're making today and how much money will you be making if you have the same transactions today. So it just made them to think. Again, for me, it is something new, so it has been helping me to get step by step in how to talk to people.
I love that. That was great scripting right there. Great job, Lewis.
Tom, for me, the value has been uh, if you tune into big agent meeting and they talk about agent attraction, or if you tune into your state meeting, and my state meeting doesn't talk about attraction very much, but if you tune into any of the EXP one and done programs or one and done presentations, you might hear, oh, there's a strategy. I might try that. And then you jump to the next strategy, and then you go to the technique of the day. What this program is doing is saying, don't waste your time doing that. Here are the dots. Go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4, and it's laid out for you. And they give us an incredible array of tools to utilize. And it's everything Tom talks about. I mean, we're spoiled. We get to hear Tom. Not everybody else gets that kind of leadership from their organization. And so what it's done is it has literally connected the dots to where it makes sense.
Thank you,
Okay.
Alan.
So
Thanks,
I'm
Eric.
jumping
All
here.
right, Michael Levy, then Tom Crumpton.
Yes, can you guys just do a little bit of a deeper dive into this process? So my questions are like, when you're calling agents, are you calling strangers or people that you know? Are you calling people that are in your town or close to you or far away? And if they're in a different city, how are you choosing what city to call them in? And then what are you saying to them specifically? And then I'm assuming that there's like three responses. One is they have no interest, which means you're not going to call them again. Two is they have some interest and they want you to stay in touch. And then what are you doing with them? When are you going to call them again? And then three is they have a lot of interest and they're ready to set up a Zoom meeting with you or an in-person, and they want to see the EXP explain PowerPoint presentation. And then how are you setting that up?
I'll respond to that.
So those are my questions.
Michael, it's none of those responses, because I'm not calling them to say, would you come look at EXP? I'm calling them to say, you did a great job on that last transaction, or I see that your business is taking off. Tell me how you're doing that. Or I try to build some sort of connection where I'm not just puking on them. You know, the last thing I do is say, can you come over here and let me show you EXP Explain? Now, in my case, I'm calling primarily people in my local market area, because there's a whole lot of those folks that I can reach out before I need to start going long distance. Okay. And nobody is saying, don't ever call me again. They may be thinking that, but they don't have to say it. And even if they said it, that wouldn't keep me from calling them again. It would just delay when I would call them again. So the approach is to try to figure out that, how can I show this person I wanted to deliver value? It's not, I mean, they have a guest presenter on every Friday. And this past Friday was Kyle Whistle from San Diego. He was terrific. And he's got a bunch of people in his organization. Tom would know the number better than me, but he's got a whole bunch of people. And he has attracted everyone in his downline or in his organization through production. You ask yourself, of all the real estate brokers you know, how many of them got a license in order to earn stock? How many of them got a license in order to earn revenue share? Damn few. I mean, what EXP has proven over 16 years is that 85 or 86% of the people in this organization just want to sell more houses. They're not trying to do the other stuff, because 85 or 86% of the people in this organization have not attracted one single person yet. So if we can show them, here's how to make more money doing what you got a license to do, only a fool's not going to listen to you at some point. So you just got to be persistent. Now, I didn't inherit a lot of patience. The day they were passing out patients, I didn't want to stand in line. So that's my biggest challenge. That's my biggest challenge, but it's teaching me that, you know, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and I'm going to win in the long term.
Thank you, Alan, for sharing that. All right. Tom Crumpton,
You know
you
what?
want to say something? Go ahead, Tom. And then
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
Lewis also unmuted his mic. Go ahead, Tom.
All right, I hustle. So what Lewis said about prospecting, yeah, that's what you have to do. And everybody hates it. And all the years, I've only had two people say, I love prospecting. And I call them liars. Nobody wants to do it. Mentees, there's a couple in Florida, I gave a list of people around them. I gave them scripts, and they still don't want to hit the phone. When I was at Bob Knackle's book signing, he was asked what the most important thing was that he did every day. Bob Knackle said prospecting. guys like Knackle and I have been around a while, and Keith, we didn't have any options when we started. It was a phone. And if you were lucky, a reverse directory, maybe just a phone book. We didn't have email, we didn't have texting, we didn't have LinkedIn. So one of the kid, probably 35 or 40 in the crowd, asked Bob Knackle, what about da 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 da? He says, yeah, have somebody else do all that crap for you, but you make phone calls. That's the most important thing. The fact that this program has 15 minutes where they say, go make calls and come back and tell us how you did is incredible. Everybody in those courses will actually learn things from that.
Yeah.
That impressed me.
Eric?
Yeah, so Michael, I keep this right here, just a list right there. Each month I put like 12 or 15. Could you see it?
Yes.
It's like 12 or 15 people, right? And then I have another chart here. It's on my wall, just names, right? I've got that here. And then I've got some over here. So at my desk, I can see probably 100 names that I'm constantly working, and I bring them off of here, and then they come over to here, and that's my hot October list. But the really cool thing is, last month, 4 people that came on board, none of them were on that list.
Where do they come from?
Came from the organization that's growing, because I'm teaching people to do the same, and I'm not always here, but I'm trying to duplicate what Tom's doing here into other people, right? And it's discipleship, and it's working. So that's a pretty cool thing. But I think keeping people right in front of you is really important, because you're just constantly reaching out. Hey, how you doing? And praying for your wife. I know she's due this month. Those kind of things. It's just touching people.
Tom,
And
I'm sorry, Spirit, go ahead.
yeah, and then when the opportunity comes to present, you present a little bit of time, and you introduce them to other people. So showing up, doing the right thing over and over and over, prospecting, doing the same thing over and over and over.
I love that. That's a version of a well chart, but it's right in front of him. It speaks to him every single day, every single minute he is zoomed in on his workspace there. Thank you for sharing that, Eric. That was extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. Good job, my man. Alan.
But what I wanted to add was the other thing, and I think Tom was talking about this. The difference that this class is doing for people is it's changing their mindset. The truth is that if you have the right mindset, you can overcome almost anything. And what it's done, I used to have a group of people. Tom has been kind enough to come to our market for 3 events so far. And I used to call those people targets. To me, they're still targets. But what this class is teaching me is I need to think of it a different way. That list is now people whose lives I can impact, because it's now my impact list, not my target list. And it has everything to do with how you approach it.
Yep.
That's all I wanted to add.
Man, I'm so glad you went to that class, Alan. I've been saying that for 6 years since you've been working with me. Dude, I ain't recruiting anybody. I'm changing people's lives. Finally, you go to a class and you listen and you learn.
Tom, you keep saying that. I met you for the first time 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I'm kidding you, man. I love it. I love it. All right. Who else has something to share? Daniel Pratt, your turn. Aren't you training? Aren't you attending Faster Track?
Actually, I'm not in Faster Track, but now I'm
Oh.
like missing out.
All right. I thought you were there. No worries.
I need to be the next. So what I just started getting into is the 200 group.
Yeah.
It's something that just recently started. So I think we actually have another session today.
You're right. Talk to us about I meant 200 group for you, Daniel. So talk to us about the 200 group. Go ahead.
So it's Frank Panuto. It's also Russ Lagan. And it's basically things that we can apply into our business on a daily basis. We're just getting started with that session. Did we have one last week?
No, it's once a month.
Well, initially it was once a month. Now I received an email that it's every 2 weeks.
No, it's the first and third. It's the same schedule that this meeting is. It follows the same schedule. First and third.
Yes, actually, I missed the last session. I was traveling, so I'll be in this one, and then Is the next one gonna take place because of convention?
Let me
I don't
pull
know
it up
about
here.
that.
Let me pull it.
Actually,
Go ahead.
no, it's not because we'll all be there.
So maybe that's what you're thinking, Keith. It's only once this month
Yeah,
because of convention. But yeah, it's supposed to be first and third.
So here it
yeah,
is. It's 1 p.m. EST, first and third Tuesday of the month. It's definitely happening today.
Yep.
And it's on our webpage here, agentsgetfree.com under recurring events. So go ahead and click on that and check out your Slack for the invite. Okay.
yep.
Okay. So that's what Dan Perret is talking about there. Okay.
Yeah, and
Well,
I think there's several people that are on this call that are part of that class, and anybody
Yeah.
that's not that wants to grow, I highly recommend it.
well, share with us why. Who's
I,
been
I can tell you
to
why.
class and share us with why? Go ahead, Keith.
The whole idea is to help all of us get to at least beta. That's what it's about. That's why they have the 200 as the name. Plus, you got to have the FLQAs as well.
Beta is a minimum of, is it 15 or 10 qualifiers?
I think it's 15 now.
Yeah, beta is a minimum of 15 frontline qualifiers and a total of 200 in your organization. Okay, that's
Yeah.
beta. So, Keith, what are you getting out of it?
Well, the only meeting we had so far, at the very end, I said, and commercial, and all of a sudden, Frank said, Keith's here, and nobody was talking about commercial at all. So it's now on their list of items. They will talk about how do you recruit in the commercial world. That'll be part of it.
Okay, excellent.
So
All right, we've only got 13 minutes left. Who's got questions about agent attraction that you want to cover? Who's got successes they want to share? Go ahead, Keith.
just real quick, Michael, are you handling the registration of the sponsorship and then we pay you? 'Cause I've already booked my room.
For Inman, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know yet. I am in touch with the guy who
Okay.
is who made that offer to me, who's like in charge of vendors at Inman. So um I'll stay. He's supposedly calling me back soon, tomorrow maybe, and he's trying to sell it to me, kind of. He's like a little bit of a salesman. So
The rooms are 270 a night, Tom, at the Hilton.
All right, well, you committed quick, man. I haven't committed that quick. So, Michael, before I commit, I'm committed. But what I'd like you to do to help us out, so you've got three of us already, okay? So get another seven, and we'll help you. I mean, since I'm going, Keith's going, we'll help you promote as well. You might as well ask him. Please share with me the floor plan. I want we need to pick the best spot on that floor right now. We don't, if the entrance is here, we don't want to be on the other side in the corner next to the bathroom where nobody comes by, or opposite of the bathroom, I should say. Does that make sense? We got to have great positioning for our table. So please get that floor plan right away. We want to pick the best spot possible.
Keith, make sure the room is refundable, just in case we don't get it.
It is. You get up to 72 hours.
Okay.
So Michael, please get that floor plan and tell them, hey, I'm close to committing, but before I commit, my guys need to know what booth are we getting. We're looking for prime real estate on that floor.
Okay.
Eric,
Coming back to agent
you
attraction, I'd like to just give a shout out and thank Tom for joining us for our event here last month. Turnout ended up with about 35 people. We've already brought in 3 new agents from that event, and they're all excited about the next one we're going to be hosting and expecting about 100 people at the October the 30th event we're co-hosting here. So if you guys have anybody in the Atlanta market that you want us to connect with and help share EXP with and bring them in for you guys, let us know.
Three
yeah.
people from that event. That makes it worth my while to come every single time, Daniel.
They're
Hey,
already in. They're in the back office.
Daniel, what's the location? Because next week I'll be at CCC in Atlanta, and there's a lot of people there I'm going to invite.
Okay. The location is going to be at the Gwinnett Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce. They've got a training center that seats about 100 people.
Okay.
Great location, right around the corner from the Gwinnett Arena. Very central, right off of I-85 and Sugarloaf. And I finalized that location over the weekend. So I'll get in touch with our friends to start putting the flyers together so we have the actual announcements.
Pam is on this call. She wants to do it.
Yep. Thank you, Sam.
All right.
I'll get you all the details.
Any other questions that you want to, anyone want to share questions, anything? Please speak up, raise your hand.
And
Okay.
Tom, you bought your ticket already, right?
I bought my ticket to what?
You bought your ticket for the Atlanta event on the 30th. I think you're coming up from Miami.
Uh,
No, that's a week after.
I don't think I have, man.
Okay.
So text me and Marissa, please.
I'll text you and remind you.
Okay. So Cabo in 2026, Mexico, if you guys want to come, that's also an agent attraction training. I'll be there for sure. Of course, EXP Con. If you guys have events that you are doing that are not showing up here that you want me to help you promote, please make sure you get it to me or my executive assistants, and we will get it done for you. A shout out to Cesar Cepeda. He is crushing it with agent attraction and serving the Hispanic, that Latino speaking community there. The next one is actually today. All right. Actually, that already happened. That was happening right now. This is the agent attraction powwow call that we're currently on. Whoops. I'm sorry. My computer just went crazy here. All right. And this is the Fast Cap program that's coming up next in Austin, Texas. And also more Fast Cap in Spanish. If you got Spanish speaking folks, go ahead and make sure you encourage them to join that. There's the Fast Attract program upcoming November 3rd to December 19th. Okay, accelerated agent attraction growth. And for our commercial folks, these are what I have on the books right now. Let's see. There is Cesar Cepeda's Spanish speaking networking for commercial agents. Rich Enderlin does a deal exchange every first and third Tuesdays of the month. Blair Gilbert does deal making as well, spotlighting winning deals before anyone else. That happens on October 9th. Keith's Commercial Crowd. Keith, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, real quick. Listen, you and anybody in the world of commercial should sit in on these, when you get a chance. It's every Thursday. And the people who attend are the ones who dictate what we're talking about. I record it. Recording goes out to wherever. And it's highly beneficial. I mean, it's crazy the topics we come up with, but we don't talk about attraction. We just talk about commercial whatever, and the more you know about commercial, if you're trying to attract commercial, the better off you'll be when you meet people. So you should come to this.
Come to this, get your education, even if you're residential or luxury, whatever, that you start hearing the commercial lingo. And then when you get wind of somebody who might be in need of some commercial needs, you give the referral, and these guys write out some big referral checks. Okay, Earl Kemper also just made Icon, by the way. He's an organization sponsored by James Huang. He runs a business brokerage meeting every other Tuesday. Earl's writing out big checks, big referral checks for us agents. This is Todd Billings. He runs an AI committee. He runs it every month, first Thursday as well. Also in our RevShare organization under James Huang. Ellen Shu is coming back strong. She's helping us build the global committee based out of Vancouver, Canada, and getting back into the swing of things. Tanya Gurith also does business brokerage calling. Daniel Ang is crushing it down in Dallas and across the country. He does his Monday morning Zoom huddles for his team, but also many teams. I believe in my organization, at least, Daniel probably holds the record for the most primary sponsorship through the co-sponsor program. Charles Swanberg does an industrial CRE. It goes on and on and on. Tommy Thompson, I was just with him and Keith Andrews Down in Tennessee, Tommy does 1031 exchanges and DSTs. He holds the record for the largest DST 1031 exchange ever done in the history of the United States. He's also in our revenue share organization. Okay, and it goes and goes and goes. What else do I want to share with you? So in here, I got 5 minutes left. In your My EXP dashboard, um, you have a lot of tools and under knowledge base. Okay, so first of all, under knowledge base, you have all of our tools. Both residential and commercial are here, as well as revenue share tools. Okay, revenue share 101, revenue share foundation. How does revenue share get paid out? If you want a co-sponsor, where does that co-sponsor intake form come from? Under the resources and education, there are also more agent attraction tools as well. Okay, so I just want to point that out to you. Um, Samantha, can you stop recording, please? Just stop.